thank you for everybody calling in or being on the screen. I'm George Porter, Chairman of the Whitman Conservation Commission, and I am at 7:31. I am to open up the meeting. The first agenda of the meeting is to approve the minutes of May
17th.
May 17th.
Yep.
Okay, it's just Elaine and I. I have no further questions or additions to
I move to accept the minutes as presented.
Okay. Elaine and I will, in favor, will approve the minutes of May the 17th, done so.
2-0. Okay.
Okay. The second item is a request for a certificate of compliance, DEP 340-0418. The Whitman Conservation Commission received a letter from Environmental Consulting and Restoration, signed by Brad Holmes, manager. Make a request, a certificate of compliance. The completed work done at 681 Temple Street, Whitman, Mass. The site is Columbia Auto next to McLaughlin Chevrolet. On the phone with us is Cameron Larson, the wetland scientist. And Mr. Larson, to let you know that I did a site inspection on June the 8th at Columbia Auto. Walked around back and the front and so forth. And there's very two small items that I'll mention, that two of the small bushes in the wetlands had died, but the rest of the bushes are flourishing with good leaves and everything, but that will not delineate any of the wetland action or any cause of turning it down. The basin out front, the grass is growing, it's a little sparse. Maybe we could throw a little more seed in there. I don't see the soil all that great, but the grass is growing and so forth, but which is good. So I will recommend to issue the certificate of compliance to Columbia Auto at 681 Temple Street, Whitman, Mass.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
I myself, 2-0. Mr. Larson, you have any questions?
No, thank you very much, George and Elaine. We'll certainly, I have recommended to the contractor to continue to keep an eye on the wetland area and provide some additional seed for growing season in there.
Yeah.
So make sure they're aware to continue to seed that basin to ensure it's fully stable.
Yeah, grass is growing, but a little more seed will be more helpful.
I don't think anybody has a problem with that, so we'll be happy to take care of that.
Yeah, I told one of the employees when I was in the driveway that came out and talked to him, and I mentioned to him and so forth. He understands and everything is fine.
Great. Well, thank you much.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
I'll do the form and I will send it out as soon as possible.
Thank you, Elaine.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay. For those are still listening, I just want to remind people to be patient. Elaine's got tons of paperwork. If you don't get it within 10 days, don't call. You will get it. Okay.
Before 10 days.
Yeah. Well, you'll be fine. Okay.
Yes.
George, can you hear me? It's Sandy.
Yeah.
There you are.
I am on.
Oh, hi, Sandy. Welcome. welcome. Just to update, we voted to approve the minutes on May 17th. And just approve the certificate of compliance 0418, which is 681 Temple Street in Whitman. That's the Columbia Auto next to McLaughlin Chevrolet. I don't know if you heard that or not. Hello, Sandy?
I'm here. I'm listening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Sandy.
Okay, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Did you hear that we approved the certificate of compliance on Columbia Auto?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, next to
And the
McLaughlin
minutes.
Chevrolet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and I spoke to the wetland specialist, Cameron Lawson. He's gonna put a little more seed down. It's grass is growing, but it's a little sparse, so I like to see a little bit more. He's gonna do that, no problem.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for coming on board. Okay, I don't know if
You have a
Miss-
certificate of compliance request, George, for Grove Street.
what's the name of the street?
The swimming pool at Grove Street. You remember? He sent
Yes.
a letter.
Yeah, on Grove Street. Yeah, okay. Let me.
Grove Way, sorry.
Yeah, it's down at the end here. Hang on.
Yeah, but we might as well do it.
Oh, Rick. Okay, I got it. All right. Yeah. We have a few minutes before the next hearing at 7:45. Okay. I received a request by email from the owner, Richard Scalia, at, let me find the answer, 7 Grove Way in Whitman, requesting a certificate of compliance of a in-ground swimming pool that was installed last year. I did the site inspection on June 10th or around 1 o'clock. He was here to show me around out back and so forth. And I would say very impressive, beautiful swimming pool. And I have no objections to issue a certificate of compliance. Everything is sawed and seeded and so forth, and it looks great. So I would recommend a certificate of compliance to Richard at 7 Grove Way in Whitman, Mass.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 3-1 to issue the certificate of compliance for 7 Grove Way.
Yep.
Okay, give me a second. I'm writing this down.
You don't need to, I have it.
Okay. We're moving along pretty good. We're waiting for either Mr. White or Mr. Garvey.
Mr. Garvey said he was going to be here.
He is joined. Let me test his audio right now.
Okay.
Hi, Carl. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, Carlton, I see your name.
Can we hear him?
Can everybody hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, Sandy, Carlton. Okay. Okay, the next hearing, which the Whitman Conservation Commission received a notice of intent on a project located at 262 Bedford Street, Route 18 in Whitman, Mass. The applicant is Tracy White, 262 Bedford Street, 1272 Main Street, Hanson, Mass. The project is to construct 2 commercial buildings, paved parking area, utility connections, site grading, detention basin construction, partly located within the 100-foot buffer zone. Property is owned by Tracy White, 262 Bedford Street in Whitman, and also 1272 Main Street in Hanson. Okay, Carlton, you want to comment on this?
I don't know if he's connected.
Carlton, are you there? Okay, do you want to comment on the project?
They're unmuted. I heard them earlier. It sounded like a woman's voice.
Yeah, Carlton, I can't hear you. Well, we're trying to reach Carlton that all of the notices were printed in the Whitman paper and sent to the applicant, the owner, the representative, planning board, board of health, board of appeals, assessor's office, town clerk, board of selectmen, DEP, state highway department, Whitman Department of Public Works, the building inspector, and the abutters by applicant. And that is for all of the hearings for tonight. They have to notify all of those bodies of departments. Carlton?
If you can type, Carlton, if you can type, you can do a chat and write in, say you're here, so we can at least know you're on the video chat.
He's in by telephone? Okay, well, the 2 buildings or storage buildings which holds, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bays, the size of 10 feet by 20 feet. And both buildings are outside of the buffer zone. And anybody who's gone by Route 18 can see that construction was being performed, which is okay outside the buffer zone. Inside the buffer zone, the only items that needed attention to under the Wetlands Act was the erosion control, and in which the silk screen and the sock barrier for erosion control was installed, and also the detention basin, which is over to the right, which also is within the buffer zone. And that's the reason why for the filing under the Wetlands Act. I don't know if you, I don't think you've seen the plans, Sandy or Elaine, but I got the, yeah, I got the plans here, and that's the only thing that is filed.
And we did review them earlier before the town hall was closed at a meeting. And you have done a site inspection. They are familiar.
Yes, I did, I site inspection down there and talked to Carlton about it and so forth, and he installed, an additional erosion control measures, due to the piles of fill that was back there, which I had some concern about. And once that was done, I'm, I'm satisfied.
We just got a text, George, that Carl is on the conference, just so you know, so he can hear you.
Okay, Carlton, can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you see that, George?
Yes, I see that. Okay. It sounds like, Carlton, that I cannot hear you, but you probably can hear me. Is that I did present the project on the two construction storage buildings, which will hold 11 bays, and they are being constructed due to their being outside the 100-foot buffer zone, and that Mr. White added additional erosion control measures in the back of the piles of fill, which was fine, and that the hearing is for the basin, detention basin, which is in upland, but within the 100-foot buffer zone at, I'm not sure how many feet away from the, hang on, I'll get it, from the wetlands. Yeah, okay, it's, okay, it could be about maybe 30 feet, 40 feet away from wetlands and so forth, and the basin and construction of that, and that's what this hearing is for. Anybody have any questions?
Nope.
No.
Okay, if I show the map, would that be okay? I don't know if you can see it. It's not print, it doesn't, I don't know, I can't see if I hold the map up.
Yeah, well, you can't see it when you hold it up. It's, yeah.
I know, I can't see
I
it.
have
So,
copies of the map and I have seen it.
okay. Well, anyways, I have no, excuse me, no questions or any additional special order of conditions except for the basic 18 that we have. And I will entertain a positive recommendation to issue a positive order and conditions
Have
based
you
on the
noticed on
first.
the, George, have you noticed on the chat, Kyle has responded, the basin is located in the buffer zone. The BVW is abutting property of Peaceful Meadows, just for the record.
Okay. No, I did not see that. Oh, in order to prevent the chat needing to be part of the public record, I recommend you read this. Okay. As soon as it comes up, I'll read it.
Can you see it?
No, not yet.
In the chat?
No, I don't see it.
Well, I can see it if you want. I can read it.
Okay, why don't you read it then? Because I can't see it.
All right. In order to prevent the chat needing to be part of the public record, I recommend you read the chat submissions out loud. So when coming in from an applicant. So his comment was, the basin is located in the buffer zone. The BVW is abutting property of Peaceful Meadows. And I have put that into the notes.
Okay. Okay, any further comments or questions?
No.
Okay,
Are we ready to vote?
I think so.
yes,
All right, let me present the motion to approve the notice of intent application presented by Mr. Garvey for 262 Bedford Street. And someone can second it.
I second it.
Okay. Now,
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0, it passes. The notice of intent the order of conditions will be issued. And again, it will come out as soon as I can get it done in the next couple of days.
Okay, 1 second here. Okay, let me get the. What time, 7? Okay,
So now,
yeah, we do have a couple of minutes because Patrick Eddy's swimming pool is scheduled at 8.
well,
And
Mr. Reddy is on, and he's willing to move
he's
forward.
on and ready to go?
Yep,
Oh, I see your name there. Okay, Patrick.
Can you hear me? Is the audio working?
Yes,
yep.
Great.
yes, I can. Okay, so I will open up the hearing on 340-0455. The project located at 29 Beaver Street in Whitman. The applicant is Patrick Eddy at 29 Beaver Street in Whitman to install a swimming pool within the buffer zone, which is approximately 22 feet by 40 feet. And also around the pool, he plans to put a apron, which is what, 2 to 3 feet, Patrick?
Yeah, I would say maybe 3 to 4 feet around the
Oh,
pool.
3 to 4 feet. Okay. Okay, I'll write that down now. Okay. Okay, done so. Now, the site inspection was made on June the 9th, in which Mr. Eddy was present, and to show the location of the pool. And if anybody wishes to see the site plan of the pool, I will show it in the front. If you can see it, just say so. Anybody see that?
Yep.
Kind of, but it's okay. We've seen it before. I've seen it before.
Okay, well, what the site plan?
Yes, we've had the file before.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see that it comes out backwards, just like a mirror. Okay.
I also sent you, George, I also sent you an foundation as built that Mr. Reddy sent by email, and I forwarded it to you today. He said that you recommended that be put into the file.
Okay.
And I have it, and it shows the outbuildings as you suggested.
Okay. Anything else? Patrick, anything else you want to add, or Elaine?
Nope.
No, nothing to add.
Okay, I have no other special orders of conditions except for the basic 18, which to remind Mr. Eddie to vegetate or seed any disturbed areas, all materials to be removed from the site, and DEP number posted. That's in the basic 18, but I always try to mention it to remind people. Okay,
Please
Miss.
make sure that the DEP file number goes up right away, because
Yes, the sooner the better. Yeah.
we'll get calls if it's not. And the order of conditions will carry also a separate page of details of the standard orders of conditions, and if there were any additional orders, they will be on that page. And that is part of the order of conditions. And make sure that you follow the guidelines, but particularly get the sign up first, so nobody will be knocking on your door and wanting to know what you're doing.
Yeah, or get phone calls to my house or Elaine's house. Received a motion to accept the notice of intent for a swimming pool at 29 Beaver Street.
So moved.
You second it, Sandy?
Yes, I am. I was waiting for a pause. I didn't want to
Okay,
say over.
that's, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0.
Okay, Mr. Eddie, you have any
Positive order of
questions?
conditions.
I had 2 questions. Yes, the order of conditions that was just referenced, is that something we'll get through email?
That is what you will get from me, hopefully tomorrow afternoon, but I can't guarantee how long it'll take.
Okay.
But
Okay,
you will get that.
I'm not sure it will be emailed to you, but you will get a copy of it.
I'm going to be following the DEP's recommendations for sending everything by email.
Email, okay.
And
Perfect.
I also have to make sure that it goes simultaneously with DEP's copy. So you'll get it. And then you can go ahead to get your permit from the building inspector.
Okay, thank you. And then one more thing I picked up from the earlier agenda item has to do with certificate of compliance. That's something we should look to get at
When
what
you
point
read
in the project?
When you read the order of conditions, you will see the last condition is when the project is completely done, when everything is, the grass, anything that has been disturbed is completely done, then you send a letter or an email request to the Conservation Commission to request a certificate of compliance. You don't have to schedule a hearing or anything for that. We would do that as a vote in a regular meeting. But it has to be complete, and it then becomes attached to your order of conditions.
Okay,
It protects you so that there is nothing hanging fire should you ever want to sell the house.
great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, anything else? Okay, then I will close this hearing. Okay, 8:15, where are we? A few minutes early, Samantha was there. Oh, Samantha, you still there?
Yes, George, Chris and I are here.
Okay, we're a little early. We're moving right along.
We don't mind doing you early.
Yeah, okay, so since you're ready, we pretty much ready for you too, is that the Whitman Conservation Commission received a notice of intent from 111 Captain Allen Way from Samantha and Chris Fakowski for a in-ground swimming pool within 100 foot of the buffer zone. Let me read this out. Okay, the project is to construct an 18 feet by 36 feet steel wall in-ground pool partly located within the 100-foot buffer zone. Okay. Also on June 9th, I did a site inspection and talked to Samantha. She showed me where the pool was going and so forth, and had no problems with that location. If anybody wants to see the site plan, I can show it. I don't think it's very small, so I don't think you're going to see it too well. On this, it might be. I show it right here. I don't know. You can probably see where the location is in the back of the house. It shows everything backwards, upside down, so kind of hard to follow. So, but again, the notice of intent was in the Whitman paper, in which the applicant, owner, representative, planning board, board of health, the board of appeals, assessor's office, town clerk, board of selectmen, DEP, state highway department, the Whitman Department of Public Works, the building inspector, and the abutters by applicant. Samantha, since you're online, do you have any comments or anything else about the swimming pool?
Nothing additional at this time, George.
Okay. I believe I mentioned about some kind of a cabana or a bed or a storage shed or something like that. You're going to do that maybe a few years down the line, which is fine. And you have the apron around the pool, the fence, and all that stuff. Okay. You probably heard the comments on Mr. Eddie's pool is to have all of the materials removed from the site and seeded and graded, well graded and seeded as soon as possible, and also put your DEP number sign up also. And I think you've got that letter, or you will have. It's 340-0454 is your number. I'm not sure if you've got that email letter or not.
They have that.
You do, okay.
They'll get it again when they get their order of conditions under the same number.
Yes, and it'll be a few days, maybe 5 days, 8 days, whenever. As soon as you get the order of conditions, you can start digging. You can notify the pool company. I have no further questions. We got the basic 18 orders. There'll be to it and so forth. And you heard about the certificate of compliance when everything's all done and completed. It doesn't have to be this year. It could be next year. So I have no further questions. Sandy, got any questions?
No questions. Just want to make sure post the DPE number before you start anything. So
Yeah,
we're not going to get any phone calls.
Yeah, put the sign up. It says DEP 340-0454. Okay.
I recommend that you read the order of conditions with the special plate and specific orders, because within there is the requirement for getting a certificate of compliance at the end of the project when everything is complete. Now that may be a year or two, but don't forget to do it, because otherwise it'll continue to be a lien on your property until you get that certificate.
Okay, I have nothing else on the swimming pool at 111 Captain Allen Way.
Move to issue an order of conditions.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Yep.
Okay.
8-0.
As soon as you get the order, you can go get your pool installed.
Thank you very much, George.
You're welcome. Any questions?
No questions. Appreciate it.
You know where I am. Okay. Thank you. I know at 8:30.
Yep.
Let me
That's
guess.
the,
Rosina.
yeah, DEP 340-0457.
I don't know if they're online yet or not.
They're not showing.
I don't see the name yet. Maybe we're a little bit early.
It's 8:07. They're not due until 8:30.
Till 8:30. Okay. Okay. Well,
When they do come on, we have two items. This one, and then the same principal, Jack Reardon, is doing an RDA as well. And I have the paperwork, and you do too.
okay. I have an email from National Grid, gas main replacement project. It's a courtesy notification that they notify the conservation commissions in town that on Route 18 and I think the corner of I think it's the corner of Route 18 and 14 that they're going to install a gas main. No further action is required by the Conservation Commission. National Grid notifies us just out of courtesy that they do plan the work because of the storm drains and so forth. So I have that here, which will be sent, which we put on file.
So what part of 18?
Yeah, Route 18 and 14, I believe.
Okay. Oh, around where they're doing the construction for the new lanes.
Yes. Bedford Street. Let's see if it's. It includes a replacement of approximately 3,185 linear feet of cast iron and steel gas line with plastic liner with plastic gas line installed. Existing steel gas lines will be capped and abandoned in place, and the replacement plastic gas lines will be installed approximately adjacent to the abandoned gas line. The location of the activity will be located within 200 feet of the intermittent stream. There will be no impact to wetland resource areas as a result of the project. Best management practices will be implemented during the proposed project as needed. The nature of the work, pre-existing conditions, grades, vegetation, the pavement will be restored. Okay, so we got that out of the way, and we still have a few more minutes. Is that I did a inspection on property of 89 Franklin Street in Whitman, which I received a phone call that the person was in, well, kind of concerned. So I went down, did the inspection, and there was some filling in the wetlands and all that. So I talked to the owners at long length, and there was a lot of debris, metal materials and so forth that's got to be pulled away and out of the wetlands and all that stuff and graded. And I am to report back in probably sometime around the middle of July, which you'll get everything done and so forth. I told him that I will get him a copy of the notice of intent for him to fill out on what exactly he wants to do. I'm not sure myself, but anyways, that site inspection was made due to a complaint. Okay, I'm writing this down. Okay. Also, I did another site inspection on Hyatt Trail development across from McLaughlin Chevrolet. And yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry, Elaine. Wyatt Trail, not Hyatt. Wyatt Trail. And today I talked to Carlos Rivera, who was the engineer of the project and so forth. And he is aware of a couple of problems down there, especially good clean fill and all that stuff. And he's going to remove it and all that. And within 2 weeks, the most, maybe 3 weeks, he's going to call me and so forth. They're going to have a site inspection together and going to meet him down there when he gets time and so forth. Apparently he's very busy and so forth. But anyways, they're aware of my concerns, and as soon as I meet with Carlos in 2 or 3 weeks, we'll see what's going on down there. So a site inspection was made down there at that time on.
George, for the record, what did you find? You said unsuitable.
Well, I found unsuitable fill.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the fill that was piled up was filled with boulders, tree stumps, tree branches, logs, and all that stuff.
Specifically forbidden by
and one pile was spread out,
okay.
as if he's going to cover it over. And I said, you can't do that. I talked to the project manager, Mike, and so forth. I told him to have the engineer call me, and after about 4 days, I finally called him and got a hold of him and told him that's all been removed. So I did another site inspection on Friday and stopped in, and there seems to be some activity on moving the stuff out of there. So maybe he's working on it now. I'm not sure.
That is the site that was approved as Wyatt Trail for Glen LaPointe. He has since sold the land to Mike Gasper, and that man called me to check on the order of conditions. Mr. Lapointe did not give him the order of conditions, which is required when he sold the property, and it says so right in the first term of the order of conditions details. And so I suggested that he get hold of Mr. Lapointe and get that paperwork, because he is bound by the order of conditions that was issued for that property. And apparently he did, because we had no idea that that land had been sold. Just for the record.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Elaine.
Sorry to interrupt, but Elise Tripp has joined.
Oh, good. That is for 340-0457, George, and also for an RDA following. To Rosina Way, Lot 1.
Oh, 2 okay. 340-0457.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, Elise Tripp, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I sure can.
Perfect.
A few minutes early, but we can take you now, no problem. Okay, we'll open up the hearing in which the Whitman Conservation Commission has received the, well, in fact, that's the problem. We haven't. But,
Yes, we have. What are
oh,
you
we
talking
have,
about?
okay.
And the file number?
Is 340-0457. And this is to build a, well, I don't have a hint, single-family home on 2 Rosina Way, lot number 1. Now, I have a email from the state stating that the notice of intent wetland delineation was approved by the commission in 2001. Flags should be reestablished and confirmed prior to approval. Now, do you have an additional or an up-to-date site plan showing that?
So the site plan that we have is the one that was submitted, and is the original 2001 wetland line.
Okay, now, I forgot what his name was, but he came in a couple of months ago with the site plan of 2001 showing the delineation with requesting an RDA. And
Yeah, so we do have a site plan updated from the 2001 site plan, but it is the same wetland line, and that would have been Jack, and he's of New Homes. He's the applicant.
okay, but I know. Did you receive any of that, Elaine? The copy of that, or what? Because I don't have it.
Did you send that to me?
I do believe I did back when we filed.
It's got to be an updated plan showing the updated wetland line, whether it's exactly the same or not.
Yeah, so we submitted a plan dated March 6, 2020, and we had sent paper copies, and I believe I had sent a PDF back in March. It's a very similar. It's almost exactly, well, almost exactly to the 2001 plan. However, we did add straw wattles with silt fence, and there's some grading changes and such.
Okay, do you see that, Elaine?
I'm looking now.
Okay,
This was a separate submission to me? April, you said?
It would have been in March. It was a part of the entire NOI filing. So there was the paper copies that was sent, and I emailed a PDF as well.
Yeah, you probably did. I'm just trying to find it.
No worries. It was a very long time ago.
Because this is the one that was tied up at the town hall for a while. Yes.
Yes.
I have the notice of intent, transmittal form, aerial locus form, topographic locus form, FEMA flood map, and a butter list with the notice of intent.
So there should have also been a copy of the plan with the submittal of that NOI packet.
Well, the plan is all together, and that's what came.
So it was.
Well, wait a minute. This is a. No, there were two copies of the same thing, and you talked about the knotwood in the letter.
Yes, yeah, and there should have been a plan also sent with that.
Wait a minute. There is a flood hazard layer permit.
It wouldn't have been stapled to the packet. It was kind of like paper clipped with it type deal. It's a larger size plan, not a full size, but kind of an in between.
Here's the plan.
And it looks like I had sent everything on May 8th to the PO box.
No, I have a folded map plan.
Yes, that would be it.
Oh, okay. All right. It is
Perfect.
here. Yes, we do have it, George.
oh, we have it.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
This is
I know
one of
that,
those she got stuck in the, I can't get the plan from the town hall. So she double mailed it.
oh,
We do
okay,
have that.
okay. I know that the single-family home deck, garage, and driveway is within the 100-foot buffer zone. And as we explained to Jack, that anytime that you dredge, remove, or fill within 100 foot of the buffer zone, a notice of intent is needed. So that's why we had him file a notice of intent and so forth. And you have submitted the correct site plan and the notice of intent showing the up-to-date wetland line.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the original 2001 plan, and it looks like the differences between the two is that there's a deck proposed on the back, and the grading is a little bit different.
Okay.
But beyond that, I mean, this site is just riddled with Japanese knotweed, nothing else. So it's not the healthiest at the moment. So we're hoping to get rid of that and bring back some of the native species around the wetland, allow them to grow, and then loam and seed a yard area to allow for some good infiltration and the like, because Japanese knotweed does not help that.
Yeah, okay.
And that letter is in the file and was very detailed about the knotweed. In fact, that was the main thing I thought of.
Thank you.
Now, on the DEP file that you got with your number, you know, they indicated about the wetland delineation and general condition 17 of the order of conditions. I don't know why he put that in, because that's a standard thing, and it will indeed be in the order of conditions. So that will be addressed in the order of conditions.
Okay, I have no further questions. I think I will have to mention that all disturbed areas to be vegetated or seeded as soon as possible. All materials, building materials, and anything cannot be buried, has to be removed from the site.
Yep.
And the
Those are all
DEP
in
number 340-0457 has to be posted.
Definitely.
So people will know that you got the permit. And once you get the order of conditions, you go ahead and start on the project. You have 3 years to complete it. If you can't do it, we need a letter requesting an extension.
Perfect.
Okay, any other questions?
All of that will be addressed in the order of conditions on the boilerplate.
Yeah, read it when you get a chance.
No, read it completely. We know how this works.
Yeah, from getting there. Yeah, we know.
I always do, and I make sure that the clients know the very important key things if they make sure they read it themselves too.
Yes, it's because it's part of the document that becomes a lien,
Exactly.
and they're responsible for it.
We have had requests for a certificate of compliance on a project 18 years ago.
Oh,
And they can't sell the house until they get it.
I've done one of those. It was almost 20 years ago, and I was
20 years ago. There you go. So you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's but anyways, okay. The basic 18, I have no special orders, so I'll entertain a motion to issue a positive order of conditions to build a single-family house.
So moved.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. Vote in favor.
Everybody all set?
Yep. I'll
Okay.
send a copy to you and one to Jack.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Elaine, I have a question.
Yeah?
Are you listening through your phone?
No, I'm listening on screen.
Okay, because we're getting a lot of feedback because it's feeding from your phone microphone into your speakers from your
Oh.
computer.
So should I shut off my phone?
Well, then we wouldn't be able to hear you. Can you listen
Okay.
through your phone? And
Oh,
then
sure.
so we might just have to kick you from the computer side of it, if that's okay.
It's all right, I can go home.
If you can figure out how to turn the speakers off on your computer, you'll be able to stay on the computer as well.
Yeah.
Eric,
I
what am I
So
supposed to do?
So Elaine, if you look at the top numbers, and I don't know what your computer looks like, but mine, for the F numbers clear at the top, you'll see little speakers. So just either do, like mine is F11, so it's the speaker with the 0 with a line through, or you can just...
I have no idea. What about that?
Keep on talking.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
No, that's fine. I think that works because I don't hear the echo.
Oh, okay. Right.
So we have 2 new people who have
Because now
joined.
I can't hear it.
But can you listen through your phone?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you can mute. Do you know how to mute your phone?
I'm not going to fool around with that because it broke the last time and I had to get somebody to fix it. So
Okay.
I'm just going to leave it alone.
We'll leave it as is.
Okay, it works.
Thank you.
It works. So we have 2 new people that have joined. If you look in the attendees list, I'm not sure who's next.
So I'm actually on for the next one as well.
Yes. Elise is going to be on for the next one.
I'm a twofer.
Which is?
And there's Lot 5, Vincent Street, and RDA.
Okay.
And who would that be? Eric or Jack?
So Jack is the he's a member of the CE development. That's him.
Okay, I've allowed him to talk. So
I'll take the head on it, but he'll be available to answer any questions I can as well.
Okay. Hi, Jack.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Just to let you know, on lot 5, Vincent Place,
Okay.
or extension, I'm not sure what they call it, is that we request for a public hearing of our RDA is to wait a minute, you want to clear or can you tell me what work you want done?
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Elise, you can go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. So basically, this request is the house and the deck and the like. It's outside of the 100-foot. That's approved per the original order of conditions for this whole area. What we're looking for is to make the limit of the backyard, instead of it being at the 100-foot buffer, we're looking to make it the 50-foot. So to make a lawn within 50 feet of the or just outside 50 feet of the bordering vegetated wetland. So it would be some tree clearing and stumping, and then it would be loamed and seeded. But the limit of the work is 50-foot buffer.
But it's still within 100 foot.
Yes, yeah. So that's why we came with the RDA. Is we're proposing to basically make a yard area, but there's no structures or anything within the 100-foot.
Okay, so you'll be filling. I'm sorry, you'll be removing vegetation, and would you be filling?
Nope. We will it'll be removing the vegetation and making that a yard, essentially, just clearing some of the trees out to make it a lawn.
Oh, okay, to make a bigger, larger yard.
Yep.
Instead of 100 feet, it'll be 50 feet from the wetland line.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I did do a site inspection down there. Okay, on June the 8th, I stopped in and took a look. I'm not sure it's exactly where the 50 feet is. It look like the vegetation has already been cleared.
No.
I don't know if you've done that yet or not.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We haven't cleared anything beyond the, inside the 100-foot buffer.
Okay, that's what I want to ask, because I couldn't quite get it all. Okay, that's fine. So you'll be clearing the brush and stumps and everything out, and have it removed from the site.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's what I have. Anybody else have any questions? Sandy, Elaine?
Nope.
Any other questions, Jack?
No.
Elise, any other questions on that?
No.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to accept an additional 50-foot clearing, 50 feet away from the wetland line in the buffer zone.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so Jack and Lisa, you're all set on that, lot 5.
Thank you.
Jack and Lisa, you still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you a question on lot 3?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or lot 3, which lot 5?
No. Are you working on lot 3, which is the last lot all the way down the end at the cul-de-sac? No.
Eventually, George, we will be eventually, but we have not done anything on that lot. Any work that's been done on that lot was done by the road construction.
Well, I couldn't figure out where the house is going to be. It looks like a large detention basin with a divider in between the two, left and right, and so forth. And in one of the basins, it's got a pipe sticking out about 3 feet, and also a drain basin. I mean a drain cover right in the middle of it. So I just wonder what the heck that is for. But anyways,
Oh, that, George, I can answer that.
okay.
Yeah, the drain cover, that lot has to have an environmental one pump. So it, in order to eject the sewer from the house up
Oh,
to
going up.
up to
Okay.
the sewer main. So that's what that is in the middle.
Ah, that will make sense. Thank you very much, Jack.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Okay, that's all I have. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
That was all I had was the two. So thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Elise. Thank you for coming online.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Yep, you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
I know that we were ahead of time, but hang on. Elaine, did you get a, wait a minute. I'm going to have to,
An email from Hazel?
yeah, did you get that?
I forwarded it to you.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Hang on.
Yes. He called me this evening and said he was going to be hopefully there on time, but he was delayed because he had a conflict. But he wanted to have the extension of the order of resource area delineation for 340-0426 extended for 3 years. It expires this week, June 20th. So he's just within the deadline.
Yeah, nothing like cutting it short, but that's okay.
I mean,
So,
we can vote that.
yes, so the request for Doris Drive, 340-0451, the request is an extension for 3 years.
No. This is a different one. This is for 0426, 0 Temple Street. It's one of those Sarkeesian properties that Joe Cooley bought several years ago. And they asked for an order of resource area delineation. That's what it says at the top of the letter. And he wants to have that extended for 3 years.
Oh, okay. Is this property located on Temple Street?
Yeah, the assessor's map shows it as 0 Temple Street. It's a wooded area that was part of those Sarkeesian properties that they were trying to build on, and it fell through.
Yeah, okay. Sandy, you have any questions on that?
Nope, I'm good.
Elaine?
No, I'm fine. Extension for 3 years.
Yeah, okay. Okay. The request to have an extension for 3 years, 340-0426 on 0 Temple Street.
Yep.
Okay. Any further questions or concerns?
Nope.
Oh, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Done. Okay.
So in the chat, in the waiting room right now, we have a Glenn Ward and Eric Pretorius.
Glenn Ward. Okay.
And Eric Pretorius, just to let you know.
Okay. I know Glenn Ward. He's behind Vincent Place. I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk to him, see if he has a question. Glenn Ward, and I don't know the other person.
I'm going to allow them both to talk just in case they have questions.
Sure, yeah, put them both on. Hi, Glenn and Eric. Can you both hear me?
It's
I can hear
actually
you.
Janice Ward.
Okay, Glenn. George Porter, you have a question or?
It's Janice Ward.
Oh, hi, Janice. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It came up as Glenn.
That's probably because he pays the bill.
Oh, good for him.
I just wanted to know why this meeting is being held for something on Vincent Street.
Okay, on lot 5, which is to the left of Vincent Place, or extension. The request for a RDA, which to grade and seed the back lot within 50 feet of the wetlands. The house itself is outside the 100-foot buffer zone. So a notice of intent was not needed. But since they want to grade and extend 50 feet into the buffer zone and make it a larger backyard, they requested an RDA and request for a determination of applicability, whether a notice of intent is needed or not, and it is not needed because of it won't be any filling or anything done within 50 feet of the wetlands. All it is removing brush and some trees and so forth, and seed and graded and seed and so forth, which is no problem doing that. Is that okay, Janice?
Yes. What is an RDA?
It is a request for a determination of applicability. And the request is that the work proposed, whether a notice of intent is required.
Okay.
And on this type of project, a notice of intent is not required, but must adhere to the following, like removing any brush and tree stumps and big boulders and all that stuff. And it is within 50 feet of the wetlands.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be seeded, you'll have a larger lawn to mow, that's all.
Okay.
And a bigger backyard. You all set on that?
Yes. Well, as it appears, there's not much of a backyard now the way the plot has been laid out.
Yes, so the request was an additional 50 feet, which is fine.
Okay.
Okay, Eric, you got a question?
No, actually, I'm sitting here waiting for the Rosina Lot 2. I was notified that at 8:30 we're going to be talking about a public hearing regarding Jack Reardon building a house on that lot and the issues with the conservation and wetlands.
Okay, Eric, we've already had the hearing, and the house is within a 100-foot buffer zone. So anytime that you remove dredge, fill and so forth, especially a house within the 100-foot buffer zone, a notice of intent is required. So that's why they filed. And
But this was supposed to occur at 8:30?
Yes.
The letter I got said 8:30, so that's why I'm calling in now.
Yeah, okay, well, I got 8:45.
Yeah, I know. I've been sitting on waiting to hear this. I haven't heard it. The only thing I've heard was Vincent Street.
Oh, okay. It was probably a few minutes before 8:30, and we've already had the hearing.
Okay.
Okay, and we did approve the house.
Okay.
Okay, about not all of the house, but part of the house, we'll say half of it is within the buffer zone.
Right. I mean, I think he's probably looking to build a garage under, and because it's a small lot, especially with the utility easement there. Because I'm the chairman of the planning board as well, so we've had those
Okay. I'm
plans
sorry,
for
Eric.
forever. Yep.
Yeah. He had to update his plans.
Okay.
At the request of the DEP in Lakeville, which was not updated. So he had to update the wetland line and so forth. And I believe they added a couple of changes, like a deck and stuff like that, which is fine.
Okay. All right. No, I'm good with that. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay,
right.
Eric. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you for checking in. You
Yep.
also.
All right. Thanks.
Janice, you all set?
I am.
Okay. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Okay, Elaine.
Yep.
9 o'clock, Doris Drive.
Yep. Well, as I told you, Azu called and he said he was coming, but he had a conflict. I haven't heard from him, so I don't know. I'm sure he'll be here, but probably not until 9.
Yeah, we'll probably wait. He's got about 10 minutes or so, which is fine. So forth. Okay. Those two are done. That's done. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think of we did the certificate of compliances on all 3 pieces of property. We did the hearings.
Well, let's talk about when to schedule another meeting, because thus far nothing else has come in. We've taken care of everything that has been pending.
Okay. I know that talking to Carlton Garvey, that he has 3 notices of intent for the 3 houses within the buffer zone at 442 Temple Street, which is that property down there.
Yeah, I know it.
So as soon as we get them,
when does he plan to send them in? I mean, you
don't want
to schedule a meeting and have nothing to go on.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I can talk to him and ask him, and we can set a date then.
Well,
he's got the checks. He says and everything's ready to go. So you want me to make it?
You can either make it July 7th or the 21st.
Well,
I'll be around.
We'll have to find out what would be available with cable.
No, that's true too.
Yeah, so I don't want to do it too soon. I want to give myself a little leeway.
What day is the 7th, Sandy?
It's a Tuesday. It's the first Tuesday.
I'm not doing it on that day.
Yeah. Okay. By being on Zoom or video hearings, it doesn't have to be Tuesdays.
Yeah, I know, but it's more convenient for us. That's our meeting night.
Yes.
Yes, it is our regular meeting night. Yes.
And we have to be considerate of the cable people and Josh in scheduling the hearings. So.
Yeah, he's got other boards that he has hearings
indeed.
set up.
I'm available. I
thinking,
mean,
anybody going away?
I'm not until it'll be the first week of August. I'll be gone, but I'm
Okay, so sometime in July.
Anytime in July, because all my other meetings that I have were done for the school year, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here.
Okay. I'm thinking maybe the week of the 14th of July, 13th. That would be a regular. No, it wouldn't be a regular night.
No, it won't.
I don't want to do it the week of the 4th of July because that's not really good. Either the 14th or the 21st.
Either one. I don't care.
Okay.
Whatever the TV needs to have. I mean,
right.
I mean, they're kind of, we're at their discretion right now, so that's fine with me.
And they've been very kind to us in helping us.
Eric, you there?
I am, as is Ryan.
Oh, Ryan, I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries.
The only picture I can see is myself. So, Ryan, July 21st, is that open? Tuesday night?
Let me check right now. I mean, normally, let me see how far out the Whitman Selectmen have meetings planned, because that's typically Tuesday night. We have Selectmen's meetings happening, but let me check.
We do have a Hanson Selectmen's meeting, so from a personnel standpoint, we have, one less person. But you guys have been pretty much okay with one person tonight, so we'll probably be okay with that.
Yeah, so Whitman is the week before or the week after. So if there's no Whitman Selectmen's meeting scheduled for that night, we should be in the clear.
Yeah, we don't yet know about FinCom. They're meeting currently now, so they'd be the only other person that has staked a claim on Tuesday nights.
And what night was that?
Typically Tuesdays. With their meeting now, we don't know when their next meeting is yet.
Oh, okay. All right, so.
Would they want us to change if we happen to pick that night?
Well, no, we can change it.
We can probably make it work. Is it going to be a hearing or just a regular meeting?
Well,
it'll be 3 hearings.
It'll be just a regular meeting. It just depends if anything comes in.
Okay. No, I'm sure we can make it work.
Talking about somebody who has.
Yeah. He's got 3 notices of intent on 3 houses within the wetlands, and generally that's be taken care of in about an hour or less.
Okay, yeah, I'm still pretty confident we can make it work. As Ryan said, there's not currently a selectmen's meeting on the books. If that does happen, we may have to get creative.
Well, we can move the 21st. It's not a problem.
We also don't need you to be live. So the Whitman Board of Selectmen has their own Zoom account if they have to use it. So I think we can allocate this one to you if you need it.
Okay.
Date was that?
7/21. Is that what I heard?
July 21.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That should work for us.
Oh. Yeah, that would be good if you could.
We'll figure out a way to make it work. We might just have to have the Whitman Selectmen, if they have a meeting that night, to use their own Zoom account, and then you guys wouldn't be live on the channel. You'd end up just having a pre-recording, and then it would be posted later and put onto our channels.
Okay.
Would it be the same password, or is it a different? Will you give us?
No, we would create a new invite that we would send out, and it would be the same kind of registration process as well.
Okay.
As long as you send me instructions.
Okay, so I'll contact Carlton Garvey to tell him to submit those after the 4th of July.
You can submit them anytime, but the next hearing that we expect is the 21st.
Yeah, July 21st, okay.
That should give him plenty of time to get his DEP numbers.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
No. Unless. Haven't heard from Azu.
Nothing yet? For Mr. Azu. Oh, I'll get out the big map.
When was the last time they had a meeting in Abington about this?
Oh, boy. Way back, over 3 months ago. And the only meeting that they had was that the planning board requested updated delineation of the wetlands. And there was maybe 20 people there, Azu, so forth, and the plan. And he submitted an update site plan showing the updated delineation of the wetlands, which was a little change down at the bottom of the wetlands and so forth. And then from there, they had to give it to the planning board for approval. And that's the last thing I heard. I heard of nothing else. And we don't, the Whitman Conservation Commission does not have that updated plan. At least I don't have it.
Nope.
Then we can't make any, we'll have to not close the meeting.
No, if he doesn't show up, we would just have to continue it to the next
Yeah.
meeting.
So that's one item that I would request, and I don't know if Abington has had any other hearings on Doris Drive. So it's just the four of us at the moment, and Ryan, five of us, and I have to wait for Azu.
So we don't have any other business because you guys.
No, other than Azu.
Okay.
Yep.
I put him at the end.
We did have other business, Sandy, but we took care of it.
Do I need to sign anything, Elaine?
Yeah, I'll have to bring it to your house because it's payroll.
Okay.
Or
I can stop by. Just tell me when just
yeah,
email
I'll call
me.
you first.
Yeah, just tell me when or whatever.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing on the email from him, so I presume he's on his way. Or not.
In the invite, was he asked to join early, or was he asked
No.
to join right at 9?
He knew when his time was, and he called me. And he was traveling somewhere, and he said that he had a conflict earlier, but he was going to be here.
Okay.
How long do we want to wait?
Well, it's 9 o'clock. We'll wait a few minutes.
I'll give him 5 minutes.
If he doesn't call in or anything, Elaine, should we continue it until July 21?
That's what I would do. Yeah, if we don't hear from him.
Yeah, if you don't hear from him.
Yeah. I just checked, there's no email from him, so. Ryan, does this happen with a hearing?
Well, no, not typically. We haven't had one yet that had more than one person. We did a zoning board hearing that was with one person, so it was kind of just one shot.
We're in uncharted waters.
No, we typically have.
Oh, somebody's here.
3 hearings or something.
No, that was me, Eric, saying we're in uncharted waters.
No, we have somebody here. It says Azu.
Yes, that's him.
That's him.
All right, I'll let him in.
Yeah, let him in.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
How are you?
Hey, so good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
We're doing just fine.
Thanks.
So, what's going on with Doris Drive? The last thing I heard was that you had an updated delineation of the wetlands.
That will be correct, sir.
Okay. Have you submitted that to us yet?
I submitted it to you back in April. Oh, excuse me, back in March. Back in March, and then you haven't had a meeting after that.
Okay. I don't have it unless it's in the town hall.
Okay. I hope it is. But I have my copy. I have my copy here with me. I can show it. I don't have the video.
I don't think you can.
I think we can make you. What do you think, Ryan? We make him presenter?
Yes, please.
Hold on one second. Yep, hold on.
Okay.
So you should be a panelist now, and that should give you the availability to share your screen.
Hey, Sue.
Okay, so can you see my plan by any chance?
Yeah, kind of.
You show it a little bit higher?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, where's the change?
Okay, so last time that we, if you notice, it was I actually did the plan on the 24th of March, of February. That's when I actually submitted it. And basically, you can make a distinction between the colors. The purple, or what I will call cyan color, is the current delineation. And that was done by Ken Thompson. The green line is the old delineation by the late Dr. Hewitson. Okay? And so if you look at that line, it doesn't change much of anything. Over here, it shows that we have a little bit more up on the area here, as well as this area. But that doesn't really affect the project. We picked up more wetlands area here, and we picked up a more wetlands area here. So it does not change the scope of the project with respect to the work that we're doing in Whitman. If you may recall, the only work that we are really doing in Whitman basically below the town line has to do with the wetlands replication on my drainage basin. So let me flip my pages here so that I can identify the work.
I can't see anything.
No, I'm flipping and I'll pick it back up.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, he'll pick it up and show us.
Yes, okay, so this is it. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so
Well,
this
actually,
is.
no, okay, now I can't.
Yeah, so this right here is my proposed drainage basin. Okay, and what you see in gold color right here is the new wetlands that I will be creating. So I will be creating more wetlands area around the drainage basin. And I've got another drainage basin to the west, and that is this area right here. Okay, so this drainage basin and this drainage basin, and then my wetlands replication work, because I have what we call a secondary means of access that is shown right here, kind of in orange, dark orange color here. So that is what I'm replicating here, 2-to-1. And under 310 CMR 10.53, I am allowed to do that with limited access. What I had to demonstrate to DEP is that I went to the planning board and they gave us waivers on the width of the roadway. And when I say planning board, that will be the town of Abington planning board, because all the proposed land development work actually lies in the town of Abington. It's located in the town of Abington. And so in order to demonstrate to the DEP that we, in other words, if you look at the protocol or the procedures that you have to follow, DEP says, number one, avoid, which means don't fill wetlands, don't alter wetlands. If you cannot avoid, minimize. And after you have minimized your alteration, then replicate, okay? And so that is what we are doing. We are giving them a 2-to-1 replication area. And in terms of the work that we are proposing in the town of Abington, the town of Abington has not come up with a method for holding a hearing remotely. So you people right now are on the forefront of technology. You're ahead. You're ahead that way. I spoke with Nancy Hurst, the administrative assistant for the town of Abington Conservation Commission, and she told me that they're still discussing preliminarily when they might be able to open up hearings, and they're looking at actually open up the town hall for hearing. So we might be looking at the month of July for that to happen.
Okay, I know that we have the review letter from DEP. Has DEP satisfied with the review letter?
They are waiting for the Abington Concom to act. Basically, what DEP has told us is that once we receive an order of conditions from the Conservation Commission, we will need to file for what is called a water quality certification under the Federal Clean Waters Act.
Have you done that yet?
I cannot do that until I get order of conditions.
Ah, okay.
So they will not entertain that application until I've demonstrated to them that I've concluded the hearing processes for the notice of intent under both municipalities.
I don't know if you can answer. So we'll get the water quality certificate. Send us an up-to-date map showing the delineation up to date. And I do have another question on the access road.
Yes.
The couple questions, you have some 24-inch RCP pipe throughout the road. You have two places. You have a box culvert and so forth. Is that enough to handle the surface runoff coming in from Abington on the wetlands?
Okay.
Which is below the lots.
Yes. So if you look at those culverts, okay, if you remember, wetlands areas tend to be level. And that is why they're wetlands. They store they serve for natural storage of stormwater runoff. So what I have actually done, because the proposed roadway bifurcates the wetlands. So what I've done is the invert elevation for each culvert. And incidentally, George, I have made those open bottom culverts so that the natural vegetation and the soil in the wetlands at that location will be left intact. And so that basically those pipes, they serve as what I call flow equalizer. It maintains the hydrologic balance between the wetlands on the north side and the wetlands on the west side. I cannot make it sloping because then I will be shortchanging the wetlands on one side. So those are level bottom culverts to make the water level equal on both sides. And I think that makes sense. That is what an engineer should be designing for, and maintaining the ecological balance within the wetland system.
So that's adequate enough to handle.
That would be correct. And as a matter of fact, the engineer for the review engineer for the planning PMP Associates, incidentally, it's now part of the Jacobs Driscoll Engineering Company. They have looked at it. And unfortunately, as I indicated earlier, we are sort of at a limbo with the town of Abington in terms of when they might have a hearing to wrap it up. I do not anticipate any problem at all, George. As you know, I've been working in Abington and Whitman in the whole area, and I think I do a pretty dang good job over the last 30 years. My record shows that. So I do not anticipate any problem with the action that I expect Abington to take on the application.
Yes, I do not question your qualifications. Also, just one more question. Has Abington mentioned or said anything about the snow on the access road?
No, they have not.
So during the winter, if that's covered with snow and ice, it will be stay that way. So,
well, that access road, George, if you recall, as I discussed at the hearing the two hearings that you attended at the Abington Conservation Commission meetings, I indicated that is only for emergency vehicles. Okay, and there will be a locking gate at the Doris Drive end of that access way. So it'll be plowed like every other road in the town is plowed. And if they don't have enough area to dump the snow, they will haul it offsite. That's what they do these days.
Well, yeah, the question is that as you know, that they cannot plow the snow and push it over into wetlands and so forth. So they will have to use front end loaders and dump trucks.
That is correct. And I've also, on both sides of the access way, I've got a elevated curbing. So you don't have your standard curbing at that location. It's almost like a glorified wall on both sides. So it'll make it difficult to push snow into the wetlands.
Okay. Okay. What about having that salt free?
That is what Abington had discussed that, and that would be a permanent condition that would run in perpetuity with an order of conditions if they elect to issue an order of conditions approving the project.
Yeah, depends how often they salt to go into the wetlands, which.
That is correct. I think they intend to restrict that so that it will be a salt-free plowing.
Yeah, which is not good, but anyways, okay, that's the concern I have with that. That's it. Okay. I don't know, Sandy, have any questions on this?
Yes. So how much of an increase of the replication from the previous plan in Whitman
Yes.
to your current one? Is it increasing?
So, pardon me?
Is the replication on the Whitman side, is it increasing because of Abington's requirements?
No, it hasn't changed from the last time. What the question at the time was, how much of a change have you seen on the wetlands? In other words, if the wetlands had changed, affected my layout, then that would change. So the delineation that we've done, recent delineation that Ken Thompson did, shows that the wetlands is not changing. Therefore, my scope of replication stays the same.
Can you just lift up the map a little so I can see the Whitman's more lifted up? No, not closer. Up. There we go. Thank you.
Okay. And Sandy, if you will recall, the region that we actually came back with a new application is that Mrs. Glazer's nephew that was running the project for her had died. So by the time they proved it of his estate and have somebody else take it over, the order of conditions, they did not pay attention to it, it ran out. Had somebody been paying attention for Mrs. Glazer, it really would have been a routine extension request. And historically and regulatorily, the commission would have had to issue an extension unless there is an egregious action that have taken place, which is not the case here. So really, the main thrust of this application is the fact that the order of conditions that the Whitman Conservation Commission as well as the Abington Conservation Commission issued both expired, and that's where we find ourselves. But in other words, the commissions, even if the commission wanted to extend the order, the law as well as the regulations do not allow that. And that's why we're back here. So basically, we are refiling what you have already approved previously, and what would have been different if the wetlands changed to the point where it affected the project, then it will constitute a significant major change. But there is no change in wetlands. If anything, we gained uplands because the method of delineation since 2005 to now, it's really changed. But we are not taking any advantage of the additional upland area. In other words, we're not expanding our work.
Okay.
Okay, Elaine, any questions?
No. No.
Okay. I'm not sure what to do, whether to continue it or close the hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I don't see any need to continue the hearing because there's no information that will come to light in terms of your view and overview or oversight of this project. So, just in the interest of saving the commission the time and saving my client, I'd like to get paid, charge my client all the time, but I will not be serving his best fiduciary interest by just wasting his time and money continuing the project. So, whereas there is no new information that will be engendered or necessitated by a continuation of the hearing, I would request that the commission, if you would, close the hearing and approve the project.
Okay, just one request from you, Azu. Can you submit a copy of the update of the wetland delineation?
Absolutely.
Because I don't know where that new map is. I have no idea where it is.
Right, your town hall is closed, so
yes.
If you have another place for me to deliver those, I will be more than happy to deliver 2 sets of copies, or I can send them to the town hall by certified mail. Now, the town hall, it's my understanding that the town clerk's office receives the mails. I simply cannot go into the town hall because it's closed to the public. But
can you mail it? Post Office Box 96?
Let me write that down, sir.
You can always deliver them to my house.
Or you could drop it off at Elaine's house.
If you allow that, I will gladly do that. I can do that tomorrow morning, sir.
Drop it off at Elaine's house?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be home.
Was that Elaine?
I'm going to be home.
Very good. I can have it at your house before 10 a.m.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. I don't know of any other information from here. I kind of wish I knew what Abington is doing, but I imagine they got their things to do.
Quite frankly, Mr. Chairman, whatever Abington does will not affect what we're doing in Whitman. I can assure you of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I will entertain a motion I'm trying to think of any additional special orders on this project and the basic.
Well, the no salt condition.
Well, that's Abington. That's all.
Yeah, but you can. Nothing stops you from requiring that.
Or low salt. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking out loud here, so you have to excuse me for a minute here. I can't think of anything unless Sandy or Elaine.
One recommendation I would make, because when I consult for conservation commissions, that's what I do too. So just because I'm presenting the project does not mean that the same condition wouldn't apply here. And that is typically commissions and DEP ask for 2 growing seasons. but that is usually not very good because October is a growing season, and April and March another growing season. So effectively, somebody can say, "Yeah, I've met my 2 growing seasons requirement in a 6-month period." So what I do recommend to most of the commissions that I work with is that instead of 2 growing seasons, you require that a replication undergo 2 calendar years before you will entertain issuing a certificate of compliance. That way.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with 2 calendar years. Seed and vegetate as soon as possible and all that stuff.
Right.
And I'm just, and of course the fill to be removed, storage of fill into upland until it can be removed. Okay, that's just okay. Besides the basic 18, anything else you can think of, Elaine or Sandy, for this?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So I will entertain a motion to issue a positive order of conditions on Doris Drive, 340-0451.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
Any other questions or concerns?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, 3-0.
Okay.
Okay, Joe. Thank you very much. I don't know what else.
Azu, I have a question for you.
Yes.
It's for Azu.
Oh, Azu.
You asked for the request for the extension of order of resource area delineation. You realize that expired in June 20th, 2017.
No, that's when you issued it.
Yeah. So if it's 3 years, then it expires in June this year.
Correct. That's why I'm asking extension.
So you want it 3 years from 2020?
That is correct.
Okay, just wanted to be sure, because I thought, he knows what he's doing, but is that what he really wants? Okay. So it'll be 6,000. It'll be the 16th, because that's what we voted.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. We did that earlier while we were waiting.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your candor on there. And George, you put me on my hot seat. I have to be on my feet all the time, and I appreciate that. So makes me do my job better. So I appreciate that.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night now.
You too. Thank
You also.
Thank you.
Sandy?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm here.
Okay. On my computer, your name is there, and it shows up in a green box or a yellow box, which means that you are talking or you're still there. So that's why I said that.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, and I
I'm on
see.
the phone.
Yes, and I see, like, when I think Elaine's, there's something, a little like Wi-Fi sign in green pops up, and I can't see anything. That's all I see. So, I'm good.
Okay.
You're all set. Okay.
Yep.
You all set, Elaine?
Yep. So hearing closed, meeting closed at 9:30.
All right. So there's no more meeting. I mean,
I'll get in
I'll
touch.
close the meeting at 9:30.